I'd like to call the May 21st, 2018 meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order, it being 6:07 p.m. First of all, is anybody recording the meeting? Anyone else? I'd like to ask everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. On tonight's agenda, we have called order at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. we have a meeting on the acceptance of Marie's Way, Marks Lane, John Phillip Drive, Christopher Drive, and Brewster Drive, and a vote on the intention to lay out the way in place as an article on the warrant. We also have a vote on the fiscal year 19 omnibus budget with discussion. Weekly public discussion. We have consent agenda for the Board of Selectmen, action relative thereto, approve reserve fund transfer request as submitted by Highway Surveyor Charles Macomber, approve ambulance abatements for April 2018 as submitted by the Fire Chief. Tuesday Club of Assonet in association with the Freetown Cultural Council will be having their annual Strawberry Festival on June 17th, 2018 from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and are requesting approval for the from the board for the use of the Village Bandstand. Approved Board of Selectmen minutes from April 23rd and 30th, 2018 and May 7th and 16th, 2018. Discuss parking zones throughout town. Town Administrator's report. There is nothing under the Board of Health. The Personnel Board. Discuss application process for all employees, for boards and committees members. Discuss recording secretary. Appoint signed change of status form for Sandra Dillio as Board of Registrar submitted by Jacqueline Brown, effective May 21st, 2018. Sign change of status form for James Gonville of this full-time firefighter, effective June 3rd, 2018. On the new business, dates of upcoming Board of Selectmen's meetings, annual special town meeting, Monday, June 4th, Monday, June 18th, Monday, July 16th, Monday, August 6th, and Monday, August 20th. And for executive session, we have three things on the agenda tonight. Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21(3), to discuss strategy with respect to litigation. If an open meeting law may have a detrimental effect on the litigation positions of the public body, and the chair so declares. Mass General Law, Chapter 30, Section Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for contract negotiations with non-union personnel, Police Chief Colin E. Abbott Jr., and Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21(3), to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting law may have a detrimental effect on litigation positions of a public body, and the chair so declares. Excel Recycling LLC versus the Town of Freetown. It being after 6 o'clock, I'd like to move right to street acceptance for Marie's Way, Marks Lane, John Phillip Drive, Christopher Drive, and Brewster Drive. I do have a letter from the Planning Board. Notice of a public meeting was issued. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapters 41 and 82, you are hereby notified of a public meeting to review the laying out of public ways within the town of Freetown. The Freetown Board of Selectmen will be placing on their agenda the layout of Marks Lane, Marie's Way, John Phillip Drive, Christopher Drive, and Brewster Drive as public ways on Monday, May 21st, 2018 at 6 p.m. at the Council on Aging, 227 Chase Road, East Freetown, Massachusetts. The meeting will be held to see if the Board of Selectmen will vote to lay out as a public way a roadway entitled Marks Lane in its entirety with the utilities and all other apparatus easements. Marie's Way in its entirety with the utilities and all other apparatus easements. John Phillips Drive in its entirety with all the utilities and all other appurtenant easements. Christopher Drive in its entirety with the utilities and all other easements, and Brewster Drive in its entirety with the utility and all other easements, or take any actions relative thereto. If the Board of Selectmen votes in the affirmative to lay out the public way on article, will be placed on the town meeting warrant to see if the town will vote to accept the roadway as public way. These plans are available for public viewing at the town office of the town clerk, 3 North Main Street, Sonnet, Mass, or take any action relative thereto. All persons, parties, and corporations interested therein may appear and be heard relative thereto by the Freetown Board of Selectmen. I have a letter from the Planning Board dated May 7th, 2018 to the Honorable Board of Selectmen. The Planning Board has reviewed the roadways in the Holly Ridge subdivision, namely Marie's Way, John Phillips Drive, Marks Lane, Christopher Drive, and Brewster Drive. It appears that all outstanding issues from 2017 have been resolved. Therefore, it is the opinion of the Planning Board that these roads have been constructed to the town standards and are ready for acceptance at the next scheduled town meeting. Signed, sincerely, Kevin Desmaris, Chairman, Freetown Planning Board. Okay, and you have layouts to show us what everything is here. All right. And I've been entertaining discussion on the plan.
No, unless, does anybody,
First the board, if anybody from the board has any.
I'm fine with the planning board's recommendation.
Okay, and we have somebody here who would like to speak about it. Please.
My name is Ruth Cott. I live at 9 Brewster Drive.
Okay.
And I brought some pictures of the trees that Mr. Andrews planted several years ago.
Last year.
Well, last year. They're mostly sticks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have in the cul-de-sacs, those are just Brewster Drive. I just took the pictures yesterday, but it's all along Marie's Way, and I don't know about some of the other ones, but the trees hardly have any. They might have a few leaves on the top. Some of them are just absolute sticks. There's one house down on Brewster Drive with the most beautiful lawn, 2 trees out front. There's not a leaf on it. It's all sticks. You know, it's an eyesore, and it's embarrassing. And I spoke to Mr. Andrunas. We moved in the house in August of 2014. And I spoke to Mr. Andrunas because when they got their trees, they bought them in the fall. They had about 50 trees, and they put them down in one of the cul-de-sacs. They were they were the ugliest trees they ever saw in business. But they left them in the cul-de-sac, and they stayed there, I don't know how long, a year and a half or something. And you drive down, some of them are little with a few leaves, but you can see a lot of them are just sticks, and that's just Brewster Drive. In the cul-de-sacs, there's 4 trees. When you come down Marie's Way and you take a right, there's 4 trees. They're just all sticks. You know, we all work hard. We all spend a lot of money to keep our properties in pristine condition, and I just can't see. I did get, Chris McKay sent me the rules on the trees, that they had to be viable until the town accepts it. And it's just, you know, as you can see, they're awful. So I don't know if there's any way that you could get the developer to change the trees before you can accept it. I'm sure that there's probably like a roadway bond being held before the town releases, you know, but it's bad. And I did run into Mr. Andrunas, and I said we had to remove 2 trees from our property. They were just sticks. And he said, yeah, I will replace them. And then he said, before we accept the road, you know, we'll be replacing any dead trees. So you can tell they're not healthy. Some of them have a few leaves on the top, but, you know, I just don't know if there's something that you can do to have the trees replaced before you give them this road bond back.
What's in bond right now?
I don't know if anything's in bond right now, because this was accepted by the planning board. That's what this letter is from the planning board, that they sent out the planning board has its own engineer that does a peer review of the engineer plans to make sure, and they do a punch list of everything that needs to be replaced.
Yeah. I just don't know how he could drive down and see all these trees and say that it's acceptable. I don't think anybody...
I think this was done, because this is dated, outstanding issues from 2017, so I'm thinking the engineer went out at the end of 2017 and checked these trees. Right. Whether they've been done recently, I couldn't tell you. Mm-hmm. The only thing I can do is refer you back to the planning board, because this is their issue. These trees are their issue. they're the ones that have the rules and regulations requiring plantings every so many feet, and they also can give waivers to the contractor, which I don't know what waivers were given, what waivers don't.
Yeah, I mean, just on Brewster Drive, there's probably 20 trees.
Okay.
That's not even, you know, that's not even including the Reese Way, you know, a couple of the newer homes on Christopher Drive have like beautiful red trees. We planted, in front of our house, we planted our own trees, because we didn't know they were gonna be planting trees. So, but, you know, we live on the corner, and there's all the trees up, you know, and like I said, we had to remove a couple of them. And, it's just, it's terrible. I mean, but for us to be in a beautiful subdivision, and, you know, everybody takes care of their property and their lawn, and we have these sticks. And, you know, and I did get the, subdivision control law from Chris McKay, and, if you look under the trees, under the developer, it says, you know, they have to be in good health until a planning board accepts the subdivision.
Right.
So it's in their rules and regulations.
Right. I just don't know when they accepted the subdivision. I don't know, I know it wasn't recently. I don't know if it was 6 months ago, when exactly it was, and what the condition of the trees were then.
So that's, the acceptance isn't, after you go to town meeting?
No, the acceptance is before.
Okay.
They go through, do their punch list, accept it, send us a letter of recommendation, which was what I just read to you. And then all the Board of Selectmen is, we are acting as the road
Road commissioners.
Right.
So we're just accepting the layout of the road and recommending, we don't do that either, we recommend to the town or not, whether they should accept it at the annual town meeting.
Right.
And the town votes on that.
It's a public way.
To make it a public way from a private, currently
Right.
it's a private way.
Right, I realize that.
But I would refer you back, in my opinion, go back to the planning board.
I mean,
Area complaint,
honestly, would you want trees like that in your
Right.
yard?
and some people don't want any trees, so some people don't want them there at all. Our rules and regulations require them. So, you know, it's one of
I
those,
mean,
some
some of our
people do,
neighbors didn't have them planted,
yeah.
but, you know, it's just terrible. I mean, when you go down and you see this beautiful circle and 4 big tall trees and it's just branches, there's not one leaf on it.
You know, I can see this one's,
You know, that's bad.
if it's not,
That's probably
it's
one of
not
the,
dead, but it's gonna be soon,
yeah,
you know,
and that's just Brewster Drive.
right.
When is the next planning board meeting?
First and third Tuesday of the month, so, it will be,
Would it be before the town meeting or not?
I'm not thinking so.
let's see what the
Because-
schedule is here.
This is the last Monday of the month. No, it's not. Next
No.
week is. So,
It was the 15th, it was the 1st and the 15th, because they fall, the 1st was on a Tuesday. So their next one won't be until the 5th, which is after town meeting. But that doesn't stop you from reaching out to the chair,
Right,
the planning board chair. If he wants to schedule a meeting with the planning board, it's at his discretion,
okay.
which he might want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Other than that.
He has been
except
apprised of the
this.
situation also, because you did talk to his technician
I did.
on today, so he has been apprised
And
of the
I
situation.
sent it, I sent those photos electronically, but, Chris said that he didn't receive them. I sent them again, I don't know if he did receive them. I also sent them to the selectmen,
Okay.
so,
Great.
to McIntosh.
Macintosh, yes, yeah.
So.
I saw an email we got there this afternoon about it.
Oh, okay.
can we send a letter to the developer requesting that they, from the board anyway, requesting that they take a look at the trees and at least give us some feedback as to why they're in such poor condition and what his resolution will be? And maybe between the planning board and the board of selectmen, we can get an answer for you one way or the other.
Oh, that'd be great,
All right.
appreciate it.
So David, can you do that, please?
I can do that.
You wanna make that as a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that as a motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
So, who
Charlie,
is this lady? Who's the chairman of the board, the planning board?
Kevin
Kevin
Dismaris.
Dismaris.
Okay, so I should reach out to him?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do that, actually, he works full-time in the water department, so if you call down tomorrow, down to the town hall,
Okay.
ask for the water department, it's just easy to get hold of him that way.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks for your consideration, I hope you can get something.
I hope so too,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the roadways as recommended by the planning board as the road commissioners and
I'll
board
second.
selectmen.
Motion made and seconded, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimous. Vote on fiscal year 2019 omnibus budget.
So I'm gonna do the public discussion first.
Do you want to do, okay.
Yeah.
I'll use chairman prerogative and take out of order the weekly public discussion. Anybody here for weekly public discussion? Yes, sir.
Could we get some, no littering signs
No littering signs for where?
for Alexander Drive?
Alexander
and
Drive.
And for South Main Street, by where the Dunkin' Donuts is there and stuff?
Okay.
I mean, the roads are covered with crap.
We do. That's something I'll check and look at, because that'd be a town sign, that wouldn't be that'd be a municipal sign.
Is that what you want? A municipal sign,
We're
not,
talking
not
about-
just like a, because we do have a sign bylaw, so, that prohibits the use of signage. So we can't really have signs all over the place, but if you're asking for like a regular, you know, the
No
formal
littering.
ones, no
Right.
littering, yeah, those are fine.
Yeah, why don't we have Chuck look
Okay.
at putting signs?
It might work.
I think it has no littering and a fine, the fine amount would be called,
That would be good,
something
if
like
you put
that.
the fine on there, makes them think twice before they leave it.
Anybody else? All right. Now let's move on to fiscal year 19 omnibus budget. So I'll read through them quick. If there's a hold, please say hold. We'll address them, we'll go through them all, and then we'll go back and address the holds. After that, we'll vote as the whole thing as a package. Is that amendable to both of yous? All right.
Yeah, hold on, no,
She just gave us the newest ones. That's,
I'm gonna go off of mine for now. so-
okay.
And then if there's changes, then we can see.
Okay, so. Department 114, town moderator personnel 432. Selectmen 122 personnel 69, 311.52. 122.40 expense 11,380. Department total 80, 691.52. Town administrator 125, 30 personnel 162, 134.07. Expense 30,750.
30,750?
Yeah, there's an increase there of 25,000 for engineering costs, and reduce it. And reduce the other expense by $3,280.
Oh,
That was added on if we need to add for hiring an engineer or technical services or review of itself. So,
All right, I'm gonna say this,
you wanna hold?
yeah,
I would-
because, all right, just go ahead.
We'll put a hold in there. Department total, 192, 840, 884.07 with the hold. Finance committee, personnel, 700. Expense total, 2,000.
Hold.
Total 2,700 with a hold. Reserve fund, 125,000. Town accountant, $102,950. Personnel. Expense, $7,311. Total, $110,261. Town audit, $19,500. Assessors, personnel total, $78,681. Expense total, $15,570. Total, $94,251. Treasurer, personnel, 153,443.20. Expense, $33,706.64. Total, $187,149.84. Legal, $100,000. Management Info Systems, expense, $39,950. Tax title foreclosure, expense total, $15,500. Town clerk, personnel, $103,001.55. Expense total, $5,630. Department total, $108,631.55. Primaries and elections, expense total, $9,832.50. I'm sorry, that was personnel total. Expense total, $8,272. Department total, $18,104.50. Registration, personnel total, $1,178. Expense total, $4,061. Department total, $5,239. Conservation Commission, personnel total, $6,620. Expense total, $6,167. Department total, $12,787. Planning Board, personnel total, $36,629. Expense total, $7,629.02. Department total, $44,258.02. Zoning Board of Appeals, personnel total, $1,885. Expense total, $750. Department totals, $2,635. Soil Board, personnel total, $700. Expense total, $400. Department total, $1,100. Public Building and Property, personnel total, $36,550. Expense total, $52,897. Department total, $89,447. Property Insurance, expense total, $93,445. Town Report, $3,500. Department Hazmat total, $2,455. Total General Government, $1,349,921.50 with holds. Police overtime budget, $234,584.69.
I have a hold on the whole police budget.
Just police though, right? Not
Yep.
communications?
I'm gonna hold on communications as well.
Hold on communications. Fire, overtime, $136,175. Personnel, $862,121. Expense total, $139,830. Department total, $1,138,126. Building, personnel total, $93,350. Expense total, $7,945. Department total, $101,295. Gas, personnel total, $10,080. Expense total, 0. Department total, $10,080. Plumbing, personnel total, $7,580. Expense total, 0. Department total, $7,580. Weights and measures, expense total, $4,000. Electrical, personnel total, $30,000. Expense total, 0. Department total, $30,000. Civil defense budget, civil defense, personnel total, $2,639. Expense total, $17,000. Department total, $19,639. Animal control officer, $35,979.41 for personnel total. Expense total, $5,930. Department total, $41,909.41. Forestry, personnel total, $11,829. Expense total, $11,000. Department total, $22,829. Harbor master, $100. Total public safety, $3,682,359.93 with the holds. School committee stipends, personnel total, $4,424. Regional school assessments, Freetown FLRSD Regional Assessment Education, $10,410,975. FLRSD Regional Assessment Transportation, $374,616. FLRSD Other Charge Truck, $25,929. FLRSD Regional Debate.
Charlie,
Charlie, had hold on the truck. I'm sorry, Charlie, going too fast.
No problem.
FLRSD Regional Debt Middle School, $120,126.27. FLRSD Regional Debt Gray's School, $68,583.86. FLRSD, Regional Debt, Technology, 0. FLRSD, Regional Debt, Pool Rehab, $47,129.91. FLRSD, Regional Debt, Athletic Facility, $31,940.96. Department total, $11,079,301 with a hold. Bristol County Agricultural School Assessment, $23,170. Old Colony Regional School Assessment, $1,727,385. Total education, $12,834,280 with a hold. Highway and Streets, overtime, $525. Personnel, $394,057.
Hold.
Expense total, $87,965. Department total, $482,547 with a hold. Snow and ice removal, $25,000 for overtime. Expense total, $75,000. Department total, $100,000. Street lights, expense total, $10,900. Trash collection and disposal, expense total, $524,584. Transfer station, personnel total, $65,800. Expense total, $121,200. Department total, $187,000. Cemetery, expense total, $24,155. Total public works, $1,329,186. Health inspection services, personnel total, $87,736.64. Expense total, $9,080. Department total, $96,816.64. Council on Aging, personnel total, $135,606.80. Expense total, $21,929. Department total, $157,535.80. Veteran Services, personnel total, $11,500. Expense total, $169,250. Department total, $180,750. Memorial and Veterans Day, expense total, $2,200. Total Human Health Services, $437,302.44. Library, personnel total, $95,488. Expense total, $41,532. Department total, $137,020. J. White Library, expense total, $5,805. Arts and Cultural Council, expense total, $1,500. Historical Commission, expense total, $500. Parade and Fireworks, expense total, $3,000. Total Cultural and Recreation, $147,825. Retirement of debt, Freetown Elementary, principal IDL excluded, $555,000. Flood, 2010, principal IDL non-excluded, $70,000. Expense total, $625,000. Interest on long-term debt, Freetown Elementary interest IDL excluded, $64,450. Flood, 2010, interest IDL non-excluded, $6,300. Expense total, $70,750. Interest on short-term debt, 0. Total debt services, $695,750. Serped assessment, $1,602.97. Retirement pension contribution, personnel total, $1,020,090. Workman's compensation, personnel total, $86,909. Unemployment benefits, personnel total, $20,000. Health insurance, personnel total, $1,615,104.36. Life insurance, $1,200. Medicare, $55,000. Court-ordered judgments, 0. Liability insurance, expense total, $49,825. Townwide fueling, $138,000. Trans to trust stabilization, 0. Trans to capital projects, 0. Trans to enterprise fund, 0. Trans to trust OPEB liability, $200,000. Total unclassified, $3,187,731.33. Operating grand total, $23,664,356,356.20 withholds. Capital equipment, lease, police cruiser, existing, $26,499.54. Police cruiser, new, $60,689.46. Purchase police equipment, $3,000. Lease, fire EMS apparatus, existing, $125,533.62. Lease, fire EMS apparatus, new, $112,500. Purchase, fire EMS equipment, $156,000. Lease, highway vehicle and existing equipment, $43,143.65. Purchase, highway equipment, $32,371.49. Lease, cemetery equipment, 0. Purchase, all other, $6,344.03. Department expense total, $566,081.79.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you want it now, or you wanna wait? The lawnmower for the cemetery that they requested, we pulled it out and said we were gonna put it in here, where is it? Do we know?
Purchase all other.
Purchase all.
Other, okay, thank you.
So no hold on that though, right? Or do you wanna hold on to 64?
No, but,
66.
can we move it up one and not do lease, but can we do cemetery equipment, so we'll know what purchase all other means?
So you wanted to say purchase cemetery?
Yeah, please,
Purchase cemetery equipment,
yeah,
but the total you still okay on?
it's total still the same.
Okay.
Thank you, Kim.
Capital building and other property improvements, I'm sorry. Town building and other property improvements, $115,000.
Hold.
Fire station improvements, $25,000. Police station improvements, 0. Department expense total, $140,000 with the hold. Total capital budget, $706,081.79 with a hold. Total omnibus budget, $24,370,437.99 with holds. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning.
So all of this paperwork that we have here is backup for the new budget, is that what this is?
Yes. Let's start with town administrator. Let's start right at the beginning. Town administrator, you have a hold on increase for $25,000 for engineering costs and reduce other expenditures by $3,280.
The $25,000 has been placed in the budget for extraordinary circumstances and other issues where we require technical expertise in addition to areas where we may need that expertise but we didn't have a line item for it previously. For example, if we needed to get a consultant to look at a plan or plans or applications by the building inspector, for example, or another department, or we needed have some engineering plans reviewed as part of the normal course of business. We now have a fund that we can use for that purpose.
I've never heard or seen such a thing, ever, so I guess I didn't know where this is being pulled from.
Okay.
Genesis of this originally, not this number exactly, but the genesis of this originally is if we did hire a consultant to consult on files that have been issued in the past, and we needed a consulting review and take action from that, we'd have to be able to take that money from somewhere. So this is where you added it to your budget here.
Unless we have a plan to go out and hire somebody to do that,
Well, we
then
did
this
have a
would be, right, but,
vote to do that. We
okay,
just haven't done that because we can't find somebody.
right, because nobody's
applicable.
willing to take the task on, which then this would also would be, an unforeseen circumstance, which would go forward for a reserve fund transfer. So, I mean, we're gonna start increasing budgets here, and let me remind this board that we have not fully negotiated contracts.
Correct.
So we have unfulfilled contract negotiations going on that we're gonna need funding for. And now we're gonna start adding things to this list that I'm just gonna caution everybody, we need to be very careful on how we proceed.
Well, as to your unforeseen, it's not unforeseen because the fact of the matter is that it's something that we're contemplating. It's an issue that, so my opinion is if we were to not put this money aside, then we would be violating the unforeseen clause in the
Reserve fund transfer.
Reserve fund, thanks. So I don't see why we don't put it in the budget here now.
We could put it somewhere else, so it's easier to define, if you wanna put it somewhere else in the budget, a budget line somewhere else, so we know what it's for, it's not just in his budget. So if it doesn't get spent, for whatever reason, plans change with that.
I know exactly why we're doing this, so don't think that I don't know why we're doing this, I do, and I get it. But the problem is that, are we gonna start to use this fund for everything now? Are we gonna go out and say, oh, well, I don't really quite know if this is true, so we're gonna use this fund for that too? I mean, that's why we have a town administrator on board, that's why we have qualified people in their positions on board, to now, all of a sudden, and I get where this is coming from, believe me, I know. I'm just saying that we're using a Band-Aid approach and not taking care of the problem directly. And I think we all know what I mean.
The people who are going to be expending this money is this board. It's going to be a vote of this board to expend this money. So
If we do hire somebody on board to take care of that situation, I know what you're saying, as far as the root of the cause.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the prudent thing is to carry something somewhere along the line, so if we do have to hire our engineering firm or firms, that the money's there somewhere. It's not unforeseen, emergency or unforeseen, if we know this might be an issue. So whether we carry it here or carry it somewhere else, I think we should still carry some form. I mean, if you don't want to do 25,000, I think you'd be amenable to lowering that number to whatever it needs to be, right? So if you want to carry some money, a smaller amount of money somewhere, and in his expense line, because it's not specifically broken out, then it's not the best place to be.
We weren't sure where else to put it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, you had a position in this that you pulled out, which was an additional staff member for the office, so, but you pulled it out.
I don't envision this person being a staff person, though. I envision it as
No,
somebody
I'm not
wiring-
talking about the staff person per
Oh,
se, I'm talking
right.
about the money to fund the staff person. You pulled that money out, correct?
Yes.
That's why the budget had originally gone down, and now we're adding,
No, that would have been in personnel, that wouldn't have been in expenses, personnel is. to
right, in personnel.
Yes. What she's saying is the overall budget went down because you pulled it out of
Oh, the
personnel.
whole,
Yes.
whole budget.
And then you added it back there. If you want, we can pull it out of here, and if we have to fund it in the fall, we can fund it in the fall. but-
No,
I think this is, putting it in the budget now is the way to go. What sum is gonna be expended remains to be seen, but I think to put this plan in the budget, I think it's a very good idea.
I think it just doesn't take care of the problem. I think,
Well,
Long-term, you might be right.
Yeah,
But-
maybe, who knows if we're going to expend any of the money. I think the money being there safeguards us in any future endeavor that we have to go into.
I think it's a sad situation. Anyway, you guys can vote on it.
All right.
Excuse me, can you tell us what the situation is?
No.
No,
No? Okay.
sorry.
I'll make a motion for the 25,000 be placed.
To stay in the budget, in the expense line.
In the expense line.
All right, I'll second the motion. Motion made and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Lisa,
No.
opposed? No. Finance Committee, personnel total. Your hold is on expense $2,000.
I believe that these increase in expenses are for a notification for certain meetings. And I believe we are addressing that in the budget, in the warrant itself, by the proper authority to discuss that.
Okay.
And so I would reduce it to the 100.
So your reduction would be to $1,700 instead of $2,700?
No, pardon me, it would be reducing expenses from $2,000 to $800.
To $800, thank you.
So we're level funding the budget from last year at 1,500.
At $1,500.
70.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Next hold is police budget. You had a hold on the entire budget.
Yeah, Carlton, did he send it over to everybody?
I guess that's from Carlton, yes.
Okay.
Hmm? You printed it out here?
Yeah, it's right here.
I have so much papers everywhere. I don't know what this is here.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you want to say about it?
So he's reducing his budget from the originally requested. And there were some things that I had talked to him about, that this board really needs to make decisions on, before we put in for money, as far as, where we're going with the next police chief, when he's leaving, how we're gonna, are we going in-house, are we going, you know, those are all things that we haven't even talked about, so, anyway, he redid his budget, so.
As far as the training stipends that we had in the budget, we spoke to him about sending some of the junior officers onto training classes. I don't know if that's a great idea to take out. just because if something happens to the command staff, we don't have trained people at that level. I'm not even talking about continuation of his contract or not. I'm talking about something happens to him, something happens to his lieutenant. We haven't had people fill in the staff that aren't necessarily qualified or trained qualified for it. They are qualified, they've been officers for years, they've been sergeants for years.
I don't know,
I don't know what part actually refers to that versus,
I don't know why we can't, once again, put that to the budget. And as we go along, we have it there. Once again,
This came from Carlton, this didn't come from me. So he's reducing his budget because he thinks that there's things in there that he overcompensated for.
all right,
and that's
So
fine.
he decreased his salary and wages and increased his additional gross overtime. And then he eliminated the stipend to support the safety officer,
Okay, that's what the stipend's for,
right?
the training stipend.
that's the 500.
Training stipends figure represents elimination of stipend to support the safety officer is eliminated. Training reserves figure represents elimination of 3183. That was to support additional of 1 day to the state. This figure is decreased from last FY, despite including an amount to support the second detective. The overtime went up because of mandatory in-service. I mean, it's all right. What I'm reading is what he wrote.
Right. And I'm fine with all that, if that's what he wants to do. I just don't know if we want to take out the meetings and training seminars, and the figure reflects a elimination of $2,250 for the first year of training for potential in-house candidates for chief of police. I don't know if we want to reduce that $2,250.
Okay.
Because if we don't have a quality candidate and he decides to retire before his completion, we will be going out of house. That kind of eliminates any potential going in-house. So I think that definitely should stay in.
I concur.
As far as the other stuff, if he's requesting these eliminations, I'm fine with it.
So that, what was meetings in,
It's,
Meetings in
it's 9,600, would you have the 2,250 back?
he would have to have 2250 back, as I'm assuming. Which would make that line 11,850. And we'd add that back to the total that he's now requesting. $2,001,961.03. That sounds about right?
Well, can you just say that one more time, so I write it down?
$2,001,961.03. And all I did is add that 2250 back to his budget total of 1,999,711.03, or $199,711.03. Okay. Any other discussion on that?
Nope.
Charlie?
Nope, good.
All right, I'll entertain a vote.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to approve at $2,001,961.03. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimous. Communications hold.
So, what are we doing with the 911 grant?
We don't have,
Calvin- Huh?
don't have anything from him on that, right? He talked about it a little bit here, but I don't know.
Because in a conversation, and I don't wanna, it's hearsay, so he said he is fine using the 911 grant like we have for many years and use it the way he uses it. If he ever needs to, then he can always come and ask for something that he needs specifically and then use the 911 grant the other way. But he's very comfortable with that. So we can leave it alone and then talk to him and then reduce it on town meeting floor if that's what you wanna do.
I don't have anything to support from
Right.
him. Like the other
So-
one, we have this whole package
Right.
of support, so I think I would
So-
recommend doing what you just said.
All right,
I don't think that his budget, my understanding, most of the 911 grant is used for purchases of such things as equipment. It can supplement, I think it has, hasn't it, Tim, from time to time, supplemented the appropriation budget, correct?
Correct, he does use it, there's two, there's one that's for training, and then there's one for just, a support.
So, but I believe this year he may be supplementing overtime to some extent with the 911 grant instead of coming to.
right, so he's fine with doing
Right,
the
so-
way things always were, but we'll leave it alone and then we'll talk to him and
Right.
change it if we have to on town meeting floor. You follow me?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Are you
So-
all right with that?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I don't see, the increases are basically described here. It's in the longevity, added day, calendar, right? Added day is in the calendar, yeah, so the pay more. And then the telephone is up, and the dues.
So we're leaving it at $296,056.68.
Yep,
Yes,
All right. Can I have that as a motion?
I'll make that motion.
second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. So our new public safety total, do you have that yet, Kim? My phone's working overtime now. 3, 6, 8,
All you did was.
Add 2250. No, we
No.
reduced the police budget, I'm sorry. We added 2250 to this, we reduced the police budget by his request.
Yeah, so,
So we reduced it.
2,783.81. So it's 3,673,576.12.
So the new budget is $3,673,576.12.
Yes.
Okay. Next hold is Freetown Lakeville Regional School Department, other charge, truck, $25,929.
As we were moving fast, I did not see the little explanation on the right, which makes sense to some extent. It takes into consideration our objection.
Right, he originally wanted a separate warrant article just for that.
Right.
This puts it into their budget.
Right.
Okay.
So we're good there. I'll make a motion there. Approve line item 301.
For the 25,929.
Right.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Thank you. Can you let me get there? Highway streets, personnel, $394,057. Here's a hold.
Yeah, because we, did his, rate at 2%.
At 2% instead of the 3%.
Right, so that needs to change, and did we say we're gonna do a separate line item for the 723 for the early retirement? So it's not in personnel, or do we,
No, it's a separate line within that budget.
okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. So what is the amount that you wanna decrease the budget by?
The surveyors pay at 2% increase instead of 3%. Uh-oh. I saw the look.
Okay, so you're reducing the personnel by 1,336.25. Okay, so the new personnel line is 392,720.75. So the total. It's 481, 210.75.
All right, just to make sure I have the number right.
Yep.
The new personnel line 30 for highway and streets
Yep.
will be $392,720.75.
Yep.
With a total for the department of $481,210.75.
Correct.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. So our new operating grand total. I see you feverishly working over there. You know, I skipped over. I wanted to discuss a hold item. We didn't hold it, but while we're waiting for Kim to do the numbers. On trash collection and disposal, Department number 433. We've recently had some issues with our recycling, and we are currently, as being health chair, you know, working on remedying the problem, but there may be an increase to the collection amounts. I don't know if you want to address it here, I don't know if you want to address it in the fall, if such increases do come to fruition, which appears they're going to. It's just, I don't know how much they're going to increase by. I don't know how long-term, short-term it's going to be. Derek's here if you want Derek to speak to it at all. But I kind of skipped over it and I saw it, and I don't know if we want to talk to it now or if we want to wait.
Do we know?
Do we have anything concrete yet, Derek?
It's gonna be a minimum of $100 a ton, minimum. That's about all that I have as far as a number. It could be, at this point, 104, 105. Talking to people today, it could jump all the way up as high as 150, but they don't think it's gonna do that because they think the market will crash before it gets that high. So, and for a starting point, we're looking at $100 a ton,
Which equates to,
which,
Currently we're at $30 a ton.
right, we're currently at, we were at $30 a ton, we're jumping up to $100 a ton. So we were about $17,000 for an average, you're looking at 56, 57 for an average now. And it's just, the market's just completely out of whack. And We Care closing their doors just really hurt us, so. Unfortunately, everyone's scrambling right now, and there are no easy answers, there's no easy solutions to it. I've called just about every place in Mass that'll do single stream recycling, and they can't take it, because they're having a hard time fulfilling their own contracts, never mind adding on. The only reason that we might be able to tag along with Community is because in the grand scheme of things, we produce about 10 tons a week as a town. In the grand scheme, that's not a huge amount, so they're able to kind of hide that and still get rid of it for us, but at a higher cost. Some towns, they don't know what they're doing yet. Some may have to stop collecting altogether because there's just no place to put it. And there's no place to bring it in. We're not the only ones that got run over by We Care, but we're at least sitting in a situation where I don't think any of our services are gonna stop, at least at this point. I don't think that we're gonna see, the residents shouldn't see anything.
Yeah.
But the money increase is gonna be significant.
We don't have a number.
We don't have a real number now.
The best real number I can give right now is you're looking at about $100 a ton.
Yeah, it's a target number, so.
Yeah, we don't
We
know.
want to hold to the
Yeah.
fall. All right. We're still gonna talk to you later though, okay? So don't leave yet. Okay, now that I've given you a little time, we'll breathe in room.
It's $23,653,036.14.
I lost some of it. 23,653,014
Yep, $36.14.
So that is our new operating grand total.
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion on that total? Okay. Town building and other improvements, we have a hold.
Yeah, can we go over what that is again?
Separate sheet.
We did, we were able to get a number on the generator from a vendor, including the generator installation and the potential gas line transfer plug in the amount of $50,000. I have a copy of a proposal from a firm that's on the state bid list.
There's a separate sheet.
I'm looking for it. Do we have that separate sheet, Alan?
Yep, it should be right behind the omnibus, the last page.
Thank you. Find it?
Right behind page 10.
Yeah, I know, those with this stuff. I got it. Okay.
Second phase build out, $25,000.
Yeah, that, now that we have the concrete floor in, the storage space has been created. We have the shelving in, the records have been archived. There's a sense that we need to preserve the records and sort of button up that space. And in order to do that, we're looking at doing some kind of an insulation inside. We had talked about foam. We need an electric service to provide lights in there as well as a light outside the door. We need masonry work done. We need an exterior door, and we had talked about doing some wall board. The total of that is approximately $25,000. There is an additional cost. I don't know if it's going to be dry storage. I don't know if there's any benefit to installing an HVAC system, but at this point I haven't included that.
This is what I was afraid of last year when we started discussing this.
Exactly.
I even brought up the point with, we're just gonna keep adding things on and on and on to it.
This was just, it started off to be in the basement, and then Charlie had a good idea about moving it to the schoolhouse, but this is to store documents. This is, I mean, now we're going into electricity and HVAC systems and,
Well, the HVAC isn't included. in it.
right,
It's, if you look at if you go in the basement, you see areas where there are holes like this big in the wall that animals can get in and other, you know, insects and
So it's not
moisture.
tight, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the foam or some kind of insulation and buttoning up would prevent a potential issue in terms of pests. There is masonry work, some of the foundation is cracking in there. We did shore it up as part of the cement floor project, but there is additional work. You don't necessarily need to do the wall board, but I think to finish off the room for $3,600, that's a pretty good cost. You do need a real door on there for $1,500.
Here's what was my issue last year, and it's still kind of my issue this year. If down the line, when we did our feasibility study and the building committee met, the building committee thought that maybe that building would be used as part of the town hall tie-in, we're spending money that we might be tearing out in a couple of years. So, you know, it was a good idea to put, it's not being used as anything now. We were gonna put a foundation, a flooring down on it to store records, but now,
I would do the insulation at a minimum.
and how much would that be?
That would be $8,000. And
8,000 to insulate, like, bad insulation, the whole insulation?
To insulate the full basement area, that's the number Scott gave me. And then the electric service, you do want a light or two in there, particularly if you're going in there in December and it's 4 o'clock and it's dark. So
And how much is that?
that's $7,500.
So that's 15,500?
Yeah, and then the door.
We're not heating it. I don't
No.
know why we need to insulate it. We should, yes, button it up, fill any holes so rodents
All right,
can't
okay,
get in it.
then, all right.
But to insulate, if we're gonna heat it, then we have to insulate it. And if we insulate and we don't heat it, you're gonna have moisture issues,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother issue.
You know, I don't foresee, I saw it as dry storage space. I never had any intention, he got a price for it, but I didn't think that we were gonna do HVAC in there. And even the wallboard. My concern is the foam at least would keep the animals out.
I think for $5,000, we could put a door in and plug up any holes. And you'd have a few $1,000s extra to spend if you needed to put a light in or
I'm willing to
something.
work with whatever the
What-
board
what's
needs.
the other
yeah,
thing is the board thing?
that's fine with me.
So we reduced that 25 to 5. And if there's a specific need that he comes up with, that he has to have him bring it to us, and we can appropriate at a later date.
All right.
Highway bond, concrete pad, 25,000, that's not new though.
Everything else is in line with what we had originally projected.
I knew that was gonna happen. I said it.
I know.
Okay, so we're reducing capital buildings by $20,000. Do you wanna take any action for the generator? I think the generator's actually a good idea.
Yeah, that's fine.
Charlie, any questions or issues or anything?
Mm-mm.
All right, Kim, do you have that?
Sorry, yep, 1 second.
No problem. You have the hardest job tonight.
So it's 686, 08179 for the total capital. So department total for capital building and other property improvements goes down to 120,000, making the new total capital budget 686, 081.79.
And we reduced that to 95,000 from 115.
Correct, yes.
Okay. So we had a hold on town building and other improvements. We reduced it to $95,000. Can I get a vote on that?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Department expense total is now $120,000. Total capital budget is $668,081.
686,
What did I say?
668.
$686,081.79. How's that?
Good.
Okay. I do that sometimes. Which puts our new total ominous budget at
$24,339,117.93.
$24,339,000.
$117.93.
So 24 million, total ominous budget is $24,339,117.93. Can I have a vote to accept,
Hold on. Kim, sorry.
Yep.
If all the warrant articles were to pass and this omnibus budget were to pass, what do we have left over?
well, we were at 78,000, so it's gonna be,
So 107.
107.
Can we take that 107, and make a line item like we did the last time for anticipated, successful contract negotiation? What did we do with that the last time? We put it in a separate fund.
Created a personnel reserve. You could still vote to do that at the fall town meeting if you wanted. I mean, you're basically giving people a number if you do it now.
Well, we did that the last time because,
We were saving some free cash from the last time, what we had.
We could leave this in free cash and just assess it then, or if you want to put it over to a personnel reserve. You want to do the whole 107 into personnel reserve? You
I
wanna
just
leave-
want to make sure that we have something in
I mean,
our,
you're still gonna need another vote, because if you put in a personnel reserve, you're gonna have to pull it out of the reserve and
Right.
put it in the departmental budget.
Right.
So, whether you just do it in the fall and put it directly into the budgets, rather than taking it out of reserve to then put it in the budgets, the funding will still be there.
I just want to make sure that it's there and that we're not, another department's not going to come and take, you know what I mean, like increase the budget or whatever, so.
You don't want to do the whole 107 though, do you?
No, it's fine.
Do you want to do like 75 into that and then leave 20?
I just want to make sure that we're going to have money for that.
Yeah.
But we can expend, we can additionally spend money in October.
Well, you'll have free cash
You'll
there.
have,
You'll be
you'll have the
served.
town meeting before the tax rate is set, so whatever there is for additional levy at that point, you can appropriate. So, I mean, you could reserve a portion of it now, or you, like I said, you could just wait until the fall, and you could have that as the first priority on the warrant. Because even if you reserve it, you're still gonna have to have an article to move it
Right.
out of the reserve.
No, it just makes it difficult to move it out of the reserve. In case something else pops up, the money's already there, it's set aside. Yeah, to me, I would be comfortable putting 75,000 over into a personal reserve and leaving the rest, 32,000, whatever the rest is,
Up in the air.
up in free cash. And if something pops up, we have free cash for it.
Yeah, and we also have, you know,
We don't have final loving numbers anyhow, we're only in.
yeah, no, we don't have that anyway, but we also have, unanticipated, you know,
Right.
the reserve.
We have reserve fund of 125,000.
Right, so
Can I get that as a motion?
I'll make that as a motion,
For the 75,000 and
to put in a personnel stabilization.
personnel reserve.
Reserve, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Carries unanimous. Okay. Looks like we have a ominous budget. with the agenda. We already did weekly public discussion. Board of Selectmen approved reserve fund transfer request as submitted by Highway Supervisor Charles Macumber. Just about it. He's requesting $12.29 to be transferred to a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to send it to the Finance Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries unanimous. Give me one second, let me just find my agenda. I lost it somewhere. Thank you. Approve ambulance abatements for April 2018 as submitted by Fire Chief. We have ambulance abatements for April 2018, the amount of $68,220.25. Write-offs for the period of April 2018 are made scheduled by Coinstar in the aggregate of $14,242.18. Total contractual allowances and write-offs $82,462.43.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries unanimous. Thank you, David. I have one here. Tuesday Club of Assonet in association with the Freetown Council on Aging. We have a letter from the Tuesday Club dated April 21st, 2018. The Tuesday Club of Assonet is association of Freetown Cultural, in association with Freetown Cultural Council, will be holding an annual Strawberry Festival. The date of this year's festival will be June 17th, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Village Bandstand. As always, we have a police officer on duty for traffic control and pedestrian crossings. We look forward to the board granting us permission to use the Village Bandstand for our very popular festival. As you may know, this event is held to provide scholarships for Freetown students. Sincerely, Kathy Oliveria, President. Do I have a motion to allow?
I'll make a motion to allow them to use the bandstand.
Second.
Have we had any complaints? Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Approve Board of Selectmen's minutes for April 23rd and 30th, 2018. I had a problem. I could not get the 23rd's minutes. I tried putting them in Dropbox. It wouldn't let me preview them. I tried putting it in iBooks. It wouldn't let me read them in iBooks. It just won't load. The 30th, I'm fine with the 30th, except for the stenographer missed some stuff that I was saying.
I actually asked Ally to add a reference on the link for the YouTube, so that, you know, whoever reads the minutes can also refer to the YouTube as a resource in terms of the meeting minutes.
Thank you. Were you able to read the stenographer's minutes for the 23rd?
Nope.
It's 5 megabytes, it wouldn't download.
No.
So can we figure out what the heck is going on with that? I'll read the paper copy if I can get my hands on it. I know you had it here the other day, and I was just gonna read the digital, but, and when the stenographer couldn't make out, or we were going too fast, she just put some lines in. So I think we should reference also for the public record, the YouTube video.
Okay.
Okay. As far as the minutes taken by the board, I was fine with those. So do I have a motion to accept? Charlie, you weren't there.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second with discussion, as long as we can get our hands on the stenographers and accept those separately, okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Charlie, do you abstain?
Yes.
Charlie abstains. Board of Selectmen's minutes for May 7th, 16th, 2018. Do I have a motion to accept for May 7th and May 16th?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Discuss parking zones throughout the town. Charlie, I think you wanted
Okay.
this put on?
Yes. As you remember, a few months ago, we finally made a official no parking zone area on Water Street. We have a number of different places in town where we have no parking signs. just said one is the lower part of High Street, that's South Main Street. Another place is here on Flatbridge Road in front of the State Forest headquarters. What I propose is that we ask the highway surveyor to measure and articulate where these different places are so that we can carry out the hearings and by legally have these no parking zones that we have no parking signs at the present time. So, and maybe we'll find some other places that we want to put no parking areas. So that was to get it so that we actually have legal no parking zones, we will get no parking signs.
We're just getting a recommendation from Chuck right now?
Well, what we would do is, we'd be getting, like, say, on High Street, on the west side from the corner of South Main Street, so far up, there are no parking signs. I would like us to have a document, okay, telling us what the distance is, so that we can discuss and decide whether or not we're gonna have these as no parking areas, why we have them, have a public hearing if we so choose to do that, go that way. But to have a directive asking him where are these no parking areas and go from there.
Are you concerned that there's signs up that the selectmen never actually approved as no parking areas?
Well, one of the things
Is that something also you want to look into?
Well, first of all, yeah. There are no parking signs in areas that haven't gone through the process.
Okay.
We have a process we have to go through. We have to have a public hearing. So, and where they are, and then we'll decide what we do from there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that move.
Send a letter to Chuck requesting him, and Ally's gonna have to do something with it too, to look to see if there was ever, oh, I don't know if Chuck would have that paperwork,
Yeah,
probably.
he would know.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion made, second, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Town administrator report.
Okay. We have a department head meeting coming up, 5:30, 18, as well as a finance team meeting at 5:31, 18. If the board has anything that they want me to discuss with either group, please let me know and I will add it to the agenda. We did hold an auction on Saturday for surplus goods. We had a great turnout. I believe we generated over $10,000 worth of funds for the town. I want to thank Ally, because Ally basically orchestrated the whole thing, and she did a super job, as well as John Ashley, our auctioneer, who was entertaining and drove the prices up appropriately and did a great job doing that. I want to let the board know there's a warrant review meeting on 5/30/18 at 4 o'clock. I'm working with the DCR to close on Proprietor's Way. We're hoping to have a close date on June 15th. And previously we had on the agenda a dog hearing, which we've taken off. I've been talking with Lisa, and we are going to try to work with the parties to get them to agree to some kind of a compromise so that it doesn't have to appear before the board. So that's basically it.
Any questions for the administrator?
No.
Personnel board.
All right. The first item is discussing a recording secretary. As we all know, there's a little bit of an issue with Ally being the recording secretary and her accumulating comp time, which she really doesn't want to have done. Just so we know, in the past 4, almost 5 years, each year we've averaged about 95 hours comp time per year for Ally. The comp time becomes a problem because she has to take vacation time first, and then she can use the comp time because vacation time cannot be carried over. So this ends up being a problem where she's missing for a number of weeks. If you looked at back at the 95 hours, she's actually absent from the office she could be absent from the office for between 4 and 5 weeks a year. Another issue with comp time is when it's carried over, you incur the cost in 1 year, but you're actually paying it in another year at a higher rate than it actually was originally accumulated. The taking of the minutes, the writing up of the minutes, takes Ally from other more important work that she has in the office. It can cause for confusion, when especially like if she's working on the minutes, she has to go to something else, she comes back. The minutes aren't being done in all at one time. Another thing is that if we had a recording secretary, the price of the actual minute taking would be probably reduced by somewhere between $800 and $1,000 a year. So my proposal would be is that we come up with a plan such as a stipend for a recording secretary to actually take the minutes and take that off of Ally's plate.
Now, are you suggesting just for this office, or are you suggesting that it could be other use for other offices, planning board, conservation commission?
It could be anything we want to do. And you had spoken, referred to the fact that there may be that type of issue in the planning board. Matter of fact, there is, because the employee who takes the minutes works full-time, would be in the evening. So I think, yes, we could have a recording secretary for any number of boards that might need it.
I'd be more willing, instead of a stipend, have somebody as a per diem, maybe a 15-hour per diem position a week. If they're needed, they're great, they're used. If they're not needed, then they're not used. We're not paying a flat stipend for it.
Oh, when I say stipend, what I would suggest is that there's a stipend per meeting. So it probably would be basically the same, coming around the other end probably from what you...
You're saying like a flat fee per meeting?
Right.
Because I don't want to incur another union employee, so
right.
That's why I'm looking at doing something that's a non-union, something like that. If we're going to do something to that effect, I wouldn't want it to be a union position.
Right.
We don't have enough work for it.
Yeah, I agree. It's not something where you're going to have somebody employed for X hours a week or anything like that. My idea when I say stipend would be, okay, like I say, meeting X number of dollars per meeting. Maybe it might be different for different meetings, but that vein.
And would we stipulate to the other boards that if their board is going to generate comp time, that they should use or must use, I don't know if we can say must because they're elected boards, some of them, should use a recording secretary versus a person that's going to generate comp time?
Right. I think probably that it could be a little bit of a thing, but you say yes, another elected board, but I think by personnel-wise, how we take care of the personnel. Okay.
I'm totally opposed to that idea.
Why?
Well, I'll tell you my reasons why. First of all, I don't think of Ally as a recording secretary. She's our administrative assistant.
Right.
It's in her job description that she attends meetings at night. The reason is because there are often times that we look over and we look at her and we say, was that done? Was this done? Do you know about this license? Do you know about that permit? And she answers all the questions. So now if we have somebody in here coming for a permit or a license and we don't have the answers, we're going to hold that up. So I don't look at her as a recording secretary. I look at her as our administrative assistant. If we were just you know, the Conservation Commission or something like that, or a finance committee, yeah, I get that they might want a recording secretary, but her duties are so much more vital and important to the operation of the Selectmen's office that I feel will detract, and I think that it will hold it up.
And my response to that would be that, first of all, we have David here, and secondly, is the cost for her to be here, basically to answer a question or two that we may have, that we could probably ask her before. We talk about comp time, about it being an issue, and it's a big issue here, and it's a big issue in that she has to take time out. If she's out of the office 5 weeks a year, we're losing a lot more of her services there than we are here. Every once, when we can get over that asking. We can have the facts before us.
So my answer to that is she has a contract coming up. We can negotiate something in her contract that maybe she doesn't come in until Monday at noon time, or maybe she doesn't. So there are ways that we can negotiate her contract to reflect that. Not only that, we don't have to have her come every single meeting. We can have Tim come one meeting and her come another meeting. And then that way we have somebody from our office representing the board as our administrative assistant, and we have them when we need them. And then that way, they're splitting it. So they're doing one meeting a month.
Well, my response for that would be that if she doesn't come in until noontime on Monday, that defeats the purpose of it. Now she's cut down to 32 hours a week in the office.
No, because
Yeah,
she's still
no,
gonna be working. She's still gonna be working.
But she's not gonna be in the office, Lisa. She's not gonna be at a desk.
Well, we can negotiate her contract in another way. That's, I just feel like you're looking at her as a recording secretary, and I'm looking at her as so much more important than a recording secretary. And I think that there are things that we need and things that we need to ensure, especially, we have a meeting and then tomorrow somebody goes in and they ask a question, well, what happened at that meeting? And then she's gonna be like, oh, well, wait a second, I have to go back into the minutes, because maybe David's not gonna be in the office next morning. So
Yeah, so she goes back into the minutes.
But she's not gonna have
Right
them.
away.
She's not gonna have them. I think it's a bad idea, and that's my personal, I'm not gonna get into a debate about it. That's how I feel, you feel one way, and that's it.
I'd be more willing if we did it not just for one office, but recording secretary for all offices. And that anybody can use it and save money, because I know the water department normally has day meetings, but sometimes they have night meetings. You know, we shouldn't be generating time, comp time for their recording, their secretary to be there. But where they're elected officials, I don't know if we can put a rule in place that says they have to use.
Well, I think if we talk to them and we advise them that, you know, this is the plan, then I don't see where we're gonna have a lack of cooperation there.
You know, I agree with Lisa's point as far as Ally's concerned, that she does feel these complaints on a day-to-day basis, and we do refer back to her. Especially when David wasn't here, that was something that she was the de facto town administrator for a while there. So, she is more than just a recording secretary, there's no doubt about that.
I'm not just saying it, but part of her duties here is as recording secretary.
Correct.
And I feel that we can do something that will take care of the issue for less money, less time out of the office for Ally, less time of her having to spend here at these meetings. And I think that's the basis for the request. And as to other boards taking the same track, I have no problem with that at all.
Well, you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna call this person, what the other board's pleasure is on it, what kind of pay you're gonna, offer for these people, for this person. If it's gonna be an hourly thing, or if it's gonna be so many hours a week on a per diem basis when they're needed, not needed. And I think we can address it as a whole town versus just one board. That's my personal opinion.
Well, those are all good points, Bob, and I think that, yes, I think if we talk to the other boards, I think we're gonna get cooperation there. And we've already, before, we've had the stipend issue for the building committee, and I believe that is gonna work out all right. So I don't have a problem there. The other thing is, we gotta remember, is that we've had an issue right before us, where minutes haven't been able to be done in a timely manner.
I'm not opposed to it, Charlie, I just wanna know all the nuts and bolts to it first.
But that's
And if-
another point I just wanna make.
You know, if we do have one and Ally's not here or whatever, we have somebody come in and do those minutes, not necessarily Tim. So I'm not opposed to it, I just wanna know all the particulars about it, see who else will be on board and how much money we're gonna save in the aggregate, all right? So we hold that over for a future date?
Yeah, we can do it. I'll be able to wrap that up.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy,
We
just
can
reach
do
out
that
to them,
next
see if the assessors are gonna be, I don't know if they'll be in, you know.
I think usually, well, the assessors usually are meeting in the afternoon early.
Right.
So. All right.
You also may be in violation of the contract, so you might wanna look at that too.
Yep. Yep, need to know that too.
You'll be in violation of her contract, because in her contract, it says a 10-night meeting, so that's a violation. And you better check with the CBA, because in theirs, you're taking away a duty of them
But
under the
no, we're not, because she's not a union member.
No, she means the other
She's
board.
not a
I'm
union
talking
member.
about the other boards.
Well,
I'm talking
yeah,
about the other
okay.
boards. So you're gonna have the assessors, you're gonna talk to the assessors, well, the assessors, Karen is a member of the union. So you are possibly going to be in
All right.
violation of those contracts.
We'll move on, okay. Okay, point, sign, change of status form for Sandra D. Lilio as a board of registrar.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Sign status form for James Gonzalville as a full-time firefighter effective June 3rd, 2018. That would actually be a promotion from the call list to the full-time.
Who's he replacing?
He's gonna be replacing Cliff.
Cliff's going.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's all I have.
New business, dates for upcoming Board of Selectmen's meeting. The annual special town meeting will be held Monday, June 4th. Then we'll have a meeting Monday, June 18th, Monday, July 16th, Monday, August 6th, and Monday, August 20th. Anybody have any problems with those dates? As you know, I won't be here for the 18th one, Howard. Executive session, anything else I missed on here? No, executive session, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21-3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the litigation position of a public body and the chair so declares. Also, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for contract negotiations with non-union personnel. Chief of Police Carlton E. Abbott, Jr. Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21-3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the litigation position of a public body and the chair so declares. Excel Recycling LLC versus Town of Freetown. The chair does so declare. Do I have a motion? Not to return into open session.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion on the motion to enter into executive session as read above. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Sullivan?
Aye.
Mrs. Pacheco?
Yes.
Mr. Joes, yes. We're in executive session.